Zootopia 2 has not even arrived in theaters yet, and we already know a lot about what is going to happen in this movie. Are you ready to discover several super cool details about the next Zootopia adventure? The first thing you need to understand about this movie is that Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde will no longer be police officers, at least for most of the adventure. From what has been revealed, the two characters need to help a snake escape from a villain and uncover a mystery. However, in order to solve the problem, the little bunny and her fox friend will end up leaving the police force and becoming fugitives from the law. The trailer itself shows them running through the city while the police chase after our heroes. This must be a huge nightmare for Judy since her lifelong dream has always been to become a police officer, and now the entire city will think she is a traitor and that she must be arrested. That is definitely a very heavy detail of this new movie. Will she handle it? We know you cannot wait any longer to discover every fact about Zootopia 2. The moment has come! Let's enjoy another Cinewave together! If you think you already understand everything, you better think again, because one thing is certain. This movie is lying to all of us. Yes, and the biggest lie of them all is about the villain of the movie. In the first trailer, they showed a frightening villain hidden under a sinister cloak, making it seem like he is the main threat in this new adventure. But forget that, because anyone who knows the world of Zootopia knows they love tricking fans. In the first movie, everyone thought the villain would be a predator, when in reality, it was Assistant Mayor Bellweather. Since the release of the Zootopia 2 news, Disney has said there would be a super rich Lynx family controlling the new mayor. In the trailer, we see the head of that family telling the horse mayor that he wants Judy and Nick off the case. So that character would be a villain, right? Wrong! That is exactly what the movie wants you to think. There is a big chance the Lynxes are not even bad characters, and the true villain of the story is an antagonist no one expects. Are we talking about a character from a species that has never appeared in the story before? Probably yes, and we are going to talk about that right now. This movie will introduce new species that have never appeared in Zootopia before, and we are already starting by talking about him. Gary, the snake. This character is the biggest novelty of this film. According to what Nick says in the trailer, a serpent has not shown up in the city for a very long time. We discover that there is a secret population of reptiles in a hidden area of Zootopia. But that is strange, right? The movie will answer why that is in the future, but for now, we need to say that reptiles are probably not the only surprise. There is a chance another type of animal is hiding, and we are probably talking about birds. Yes, Disney is talking so much about reptiles that the big surprise is probably a type of character that has not even appeared in the trailer. Maybe the villain could be a natural predator of snakes, perhaps a hawk. There is also another possibility. The creators of Zootopia have already said that humans or monkeys do not exist in this universe. But what if they changed their minds? What if the villain is a human being? Someone the animals would never accept. Definitely the kind of villain that scares every other animal. There is a moment in the Zootopia 2 trailer that left many fans full of questions, but that might help us understand what is really happening. At one point, Gary appears in a black background, and we see a snake tail pulling Gary by the neck, almost as if there is another snake in the story. This made everyone think it is the truth. Gary is not the only snake in the movie. There is another one, probably a twin brother with a completely different personality, maybe an evil twin. From what we see in the trailer, this other snake is the same color as Gary, and in that case, we have two possibilities. Either Gary is pulling his own neck, which does not make any sense, or there is another snake that looks so identical to the blue serpent that the movie will trick us by showing two characters switching places all the time. We will only discover everything at the end of the movie. Are you excited to watch Zootopia? Comment #Zoo so we can get to know you. In this movie, we will probably finally learn more about Nick Wilde's family. One big clue is on the t-shirt the fox wears during the chase scene. It says, foxy dad, which means we will likely see his father. Yes, we know that in this scene, Nick is wearing the shirt because he needs to work undercover, but it is still a clue that we will find out more about his dad, who never appeared in the first movie. Disguising himself as a dad might be something painful for Nick, because he grew up only with his mother, and of course, we know he will also have therapy sessions with Judy. Because of that, we know that at some point, he will open his heart to Judy and tell the story of how his father died, or how his family was abandoned by him. Will Nick's father show up at some point? Do you think he is a villain or a good guy? If you think the former villain, Assistant Mayor Bellweather, will be left out of the movie, you better know she will definitely be back. And probably her father, who was supposed to appear in the first movie, will also be part of the story. Bellweather appears in the first trailer wearing an orange outfit, meaning she is in jail wearing a prison uniform. But since she appeared in the second movie's trailer, Judy and Nick will probably go to her cell to talk. There is a big theory that explains what Bellweather is doing in this story. You might remember that she had a plan to control the city and get rid of predators, making only small animals rule everything. Maybe many animals in Zootopia actually agree with her, and maybe the villain of this story is a follower of the former assistant mayor. Judy needs to find out who that villain is, and only Bellweather can answer. And if you think nobody knows who that villain could be, Disney is considering bringing in another character who was planned for the first movie. There is an image showing a sheep who is a disguise expert, and this character would be Bellweather's father or employee. If that is truly the case, the big theory is that the old villain will escape from prison. That sheep, who is a master of disguises, would break into the prison to free his boss, but that would only happen at the end of the movie to announce Zootopia 3. Will we get a third film showing Bellweather as the villain again? That would be interesting. There is something else this movie will explain. Why do only mammals live in Zootopia? This has always been a major mystery in the Zootopia universe, and since Gary is a snake, the trailer already made it clear that nobody likes him because of that. The snake even says in the trailer that snakes are not the bad guys in the story, meaning something very wrong happened in the past. And this trailer has another mystery because the new character, a beaver, says there is a secret reptile population in the city. So for some reason, Gary and his family live hidden in a secret area of Zootopia. But maybe there is another kingdom that shows all cities with other species. What happened in Zootopia's past? That is something we are going to tell you about right now. You saw in the trailer that a party is happening. The characters are celebrating the city's 100th anniversary, and because of that, we know this movie will show the past. Let's think about things we already know so far. Zootopia is celebrating 100 years. Snakes have not appeared in that region for a very long time. Only mammals live normally in Zootopia, but there is a secret population of reptiles. At the beginning of the first movie, during Judy's school play, they tell us that predators and prey used to live at war. But after that, they signed a peace agreement and built Zootopia. This is when a big theory begins. One thing is for mammals to sign a peace treaty, another thing is for other types of animals to agree with it. Who said snakes accepted to stop feeding on other animals? On rabbits, for example. Maybe Zootopia is a city only for mammals because other animals do not accept living peacefully. A long time ago, there was a war between several types of animals, but the end of that war was the creation of Zootopia. Is that why Gary needs to run away? You know what would be awesome? Subscribing right now and getting all our videos straight on YouTube. Still talking about the ancient war, we know that the villain hidden under the hood is someone who is hunting Gary and wants to destroy the reptiles. And it is probably because of that same battle that happened 100 years ago. The villain wants to build a Zootopia where only mammals exist, and because of that, Gary's presence there is bad. The antagonist of this story knows that years ago, the reptiles did not accept the peace agreement, and that is why he wants to wipe out the whole community of snakes, turtles, and lizards. That makes him a very evil guy, do you not think? In the trailer, we discover that new areas of the city that no one has ever seen before will appear. For example, the swamp market where several animal species will show up, like the beavers and the seals, for example. The Lynx family's mansion is located in the frozen part of the city, and in the ball scene, we will spend some time in that icy area. But it also became clear that Zootopia 2 will show the sand desert. The reason for so many places appearing is that the Lynx family is responsible for separating the climate zones, meaning that if there is a forest and a desert in the same city, it is because the lynxes made that happen. Zootopia 2 will show many parts of the city that have never been seen before, and that is really cool. In this new movie, we will see Zootopia's police elite squad, the Wild Boars, and they reference the United States Special Force, SWAT. In the trailer, we see their car, where their logo is SNFR, and whether they are good guys or villains, we will only find out when the movie hits theaters in November 2025. One of the things that unfortunately might happen in Zootopia 2 is Judy and Nick ending this movie separated. We see that the partners will need therapy sessions with a psychologist. Besides that, Chief Bogo himself says that if they fail the mission, the sheriff will separate the duo. And even worse, in the middle of the movie, they will become fugitives from the police for helping a snake. Nick was treated like a criminal his whole life, and when he finally did the right thing, the police tried to arrest him, meaning it is very possible that the fox will not want to remain part of law enforcement anymore. But if you want to be part of our fun, we've prepared 2 videos you're going to love. Pick one and keep having fun here with teen videos.